General Stonewall Jackson returned to Harpers Ferry on September 13, 1862, and began his siege of it as a prelude to the Battle of Antietam. Jackson took possession of Maryland Heights, Loudon Heights, and Schoolhouse Ridge, trapping the Union garrison inside Harpers Ferry. Jackson's artillery assault on the Union forces secured the surrender of 12,500 Union troops, the largest surrender of federal forces during the entire Civil War. We rode through the countryside south of the Antietam battlefield in Maryland and crossed into West Virginia to begin our tour of Harpers Ferry National Historical Park. We walked down the cobblestoned Shenandoah Street, being transported back to the 1850s. The street had numerous historic buildings to explore. The Industry Museum showcases the factories of Virginius Island. Virginius Island used the Shenandoah River to become a thriving industrial town in the first half of the 19th century. At its peak in 1850, upwards of 180 residents lived in some 20 houses. However, the industry was effectively destroyed by the Civil War as the armies evacuated the island. Completed just before the John Brown raid in 1859, the Master Armorer's House was one of the newest buildings in Harpers Ferry at the outbreak of the Civil War. The strategic location of the Master Armorer's House made it ideal for the headquarters of the commanding officer at Harpers Ferry. The most famous general who stayed in the Master Armorer's House was General Ulysses S. Grant. Once we finished looking at the exhibits in the Armorer's House, we walked out and back towards Shenandoah Street. Once there, we walked up High Street, looking at the various residences in Harpers Ferry. Potomac Street is the business district of Harpers Ferry. Here we found several taverns serving typical bar foods and beverages, ice cream parlors, perfect for a hot summer's walk, as well as gift shops to tempt the curious tourists. Once we finished on Potomac Street, we headed back to the motorcycles and our hotel to get ready for our next adventure, Gettysburg.